Hi, welcome, and thank you for joining me today. Can you begin by telling us your name, your child's name, and age?
Sure. My name is Rajanandini. I'm from Chennai, India, and I'm 31 years old. He's Adirup. He's my second son. His full name is Adirup Chinnasamy. He's suffering from ADC deficiency. That's the genetic disorder. But he's my second kid. He's now 4 years.
He's 4 years old?
Yes. Now
Yes.
he's 4 years old.
What was the moment when you realized something could be wrong and you had to take an action?
I think it's around 5th month. When Adi was 5th month end, he stopped sucking actually. He was sucking the formula, especially because I left for office. My leave was over. So that was the first moment we have realized that there is some issues are there. And since he is my second kid, I could realize that my first kid, he is okay. He's a regular kid. So some issues are there with, first we have noticed in the 5th month end. And then we could feel that in my first kid, after 4 months, he had gained the head control. But even though Adi was 6 months, he didn't gain the head control and he was very much wobbling. It wasn't normal. It was very much wobbling. So during that time, we found that there are some issues with Adi. Adi is not like regular kid. There are some issues.
Can you let us know the first warning sign?
Yes, sure. These warning signs, which I missed, which I didn't notice, are like when Adi was 40 days old, he got a severe diarrhea. Uh, we, which was not there in my first kid. He's Abhi. We didn't notice the diarrhea in him, and it wasn't like normal baby's diarrhea. It was severe. After 5 days, he did recover. Adi Adi was like, Adi is a little bit different. Adi was looking cute since birth. So it's like a deception to us. We didn't know there are some issues with Adi. So the warning, we didn't feel that it is a warning itself. We thought, okay, it's normal. So after 5 months, as I said, the sucking he has stopped and the feeding, it was different. And we started with, he had a severe fever, which is an abnormal to a 6 months old, and even it lasted for the temperature was rise to 104 degree Fahrenheit, if I could remember. It lasted for around some 10 days. Though the temperature was fluctuated, it was around some 10 days. Adi was completely hospitalized. It was a great warning to us. It actually more than a warning. It it blows something to us. There we found that there is something wrong, which we could figure, which we should figure.
Yeah, I remember when Riley had very bad diarrhea and we called it the punami, and it was every single day. It was really, really bad. That was our
Yes.
first warning sign too. Okay. So my next question is, were there moments when you felt you were being overly cautious or paranoid?
To be uh, to be precise, I felt only one time. Adi, as I said, is a little peculiar. He was sleeping. His sleeping hours were long. It's not like he had intermittent sleeping. It's not he slept for very long hours, around some 4 to 5 hours he slept in the day, and 8 to 12 hours he slept in the night. Not especially during his eighth month, 6 to 8 months, in which a kid should be very active, but he isn't. He was sleeping at that time. So I thought at that time I thought, okay, kids may be like that, but he isn't. I thought, okay, some kids may sleep. I thought I may be overly cautious. I'm having a prejudice that okay, something is that okay. I shouldn't be like that. I was like that, but That's what I meant, but it isn't. The reality isn't.
I think that's similar for us too. We found that Riley was always sleepy and her eyes was always super small and she was never fully awake. She was sleeping a lot, yeah, but waking up a lot too and never slept through the night.
Oh.
What words do you use to describe symptoms of AADC as opposed to the way the specialist described those same symptoms?
Actually, I think I'm repeating. It's different. It's different in our case because when we reached the specialist, it took around after 18 months. When Adi was 18 months only, we could reach the specialist. I think around some 2 years when 18 months only. We could reach the specialist. Before that, we couldn't. So even before that, I was aware of the symptoms because of the AADC groups, you guys, and because of these, I could get what are these symptoms. So before we reach specialists, we were aware of the symptoms. So it's not that, it's the other way in our case.
So what descriptions did you use that the specialist had a hard time pinpointing the actual symptoms you were trying to describe? Were there any symptoms that the doctors couldn't understand?
It's actually, the reality is, in India, the doctors are first unaware of AADC itself. Wherever I go, Adi was the first case to the doctor. And I don't know whether you will accept this or not. I haven't paid the medical fees to any doctor. I have consulted around some 6 to 7 doctors in Chennai. Chennai is one of the best healthcare services in India itself. So even in Chennai, I have consulted around some 6 to 7 doctors, every pediatric neurologist whom I have consulted. They have told Adi is their first case of AADC deficiency, which is very, very rare. And even when they were unaware, they were completely unaware of the symptoms also. So it was very difficult for me to tell them. And even before, when I say about the symptoms, they will just close the file and they will give it to me. And they haven't got the fees also. We don't require the consultation fees. Please, no issues. You carry on. The lifespan of kid is very less. You just carry on. You just take care of them. This is what the things I got. It's repetitive. I think in a single month, I got similar things from 6 doctors, and it's very hard for me to find a particular specialist even. When I found the specialist, she said that she was aware of the symptoms. And even when she is aware, it was myself who gave the research papers. Please go through this. Please go through the current scenario. There is an updation in this. And these are the symptoms which I have told them, especially the symptoms like OGC, ocular crisis. She couldn't decipher it. And the symptoms like she was asking intermittent sleeping, but Adi was having a good sleep. But Adi's reflex problem is bad, relatively bad, than sleep. So I told her about that also. But she was okay. She was like, my pediatric neurologist was like she couldn't decipher. She was like a little bit confused with CP and this symptoms. And she was okay. These are all part and parcel of this. Part and parcel. This is what she said. Though I could feel some symptoms or confined, especially to AADC. So this is where our case stands.
So how was he diagnosed with AADC? How old was he when he was diagnosed with AADC deficiency?
8th month. I could remember the date. It's on 18th October 2019. We got the results.
And what did the doctors do for him to figure out what he had?
As I said, it's our 9th doctor she had told, because I don't know whether you will believe this or not. One doctor has written it as AEDC instead of AADC. So There are stories like that. But at last, we have found our doctor. Um, if I have to elaborate the story, I think it will take around some 1 hour, but I will be precise. After the 8th month, when I was back to the pediatrics, he said, "This is okay. This is over. The case is over. You can't go with this kid. The kid is special kid. You should think of having another kid. You can try IVF." This is what he said. He didn't tell about Adi, who is in the current stage. So what we did is, okay, I could still remember that after the consultation, I have asked only one thing: are there any medications, even if it is AADC, where my son stands? Can you please tell this? This is what I have asked him. So not about the lifespan or anything, where my son stands now. As a doctor, can you please tell me this? What he told me is, I'm not an astrologist. Who can I say? Who I should tell? So it was very rash and harsh things which we come across. And after those things, I think there are very few doctors. Like from AADC group, I have got a family, Veer's family. They have told me they have referred a doctor, and she had started the medications. And medications has worked with them. And then only we have found that, okay, Adi is a moderate phenotype. Adi is not a severe. So that once he had a pyridoxine, he slowly started to grab the toy. We have found it, okay, he is a moderate phenotype. He's at least doing these things. And beyond the doctor, there are some things are there. And we have started to explore more and more doctors who is specialized in this case. And then at last we found a doctor who handled around some 5 cases of AADC in India, and Adi is her 6th case. She had given the proper medications, and after consulting her, Adi's progress was steadily improved. Though not a big improvement, at least he has improved.
So you were taking medication, and were you looking for a cure, or were you looking for a surgery at the time? What were you hoping for?
After 8th month of diagnosis, first what the doctor said is there are no medications. The initial doctors which we have consulted. So when Adi's genetic testing report we got, there was another paper along with that, a research paper, in which we have found that there are some medications for that, though it won't cure better, it may cure symptoms to a certain extent. So first we have started with the medications, but while exploring the medications, what we have done is we have started to explore the YouTube videos, and we have joined in the Facebook group, AADC Mums and Dads group, and the further groups which could help us. From that, I could, even from the Google, I think I have found a research paper in National Taiwan University, I hope. If it's okay, if I can reveal the name, that's why. I have mailed them in October, I hope. Yes, after his diagnosis, November, I have mailed them whether they could, whether my son could participate in the clinical trial, but they said they were not recruiting at that time, even in November 2019. So from that moment, I got that, okay, there are some clinical trials. There are some cure, there may be some cure. And then they have found the Veer family, and Veer was in the line queue for gene therapy. So I thought that, okay, there is something which is nearby. It's not like completely impossible. It's a possibility. That's what I found next time. And that comes the golden opportunity in another group of AADC, in another Facebook group. And I think we were there in the Zoom meeting also. There is continuous meeting in which they are recruiting the international patients also. You don't know if you have seen my mails. If you have seen my inbox or a sent box, you could see how many hundreds of mails I might have sent to all the trial sites. It was a complete thorough process, because as a mother, only one thing is for the mother: to protect the child, to save the child. I don't want my child to have worse life or to be fatal. I want to save the kid, whatever. It's just a mail. It's some half an hour. I have to go. So what I did is I was completely mailing each and every one. And from those only I found this clinical trial, and then I could know that there is a website called Clinical Trials website. It's like an exploration. I started to explore more and more and more, and from then we got the opportunity. And even the fate, it didn't stop there. Even when we got a chance in Texas Children's Hospital, we couldn't get through it because we have visa issues. From India, it's a big issue of visas. I have tried twice, but we couldn't get visa. But thank God we could get through this year, and it was successful.
How old was he when he received gene therapy?
He's 4 years old when he received his gene therapy.
Yeah. And how many months post gene therapy now?
29th March, it's the rebirth day. So it's been 3 months.
That's
2.5
wonderful.
months precisely.
Yeah. What was your feeling like when they accepted you for clinical trial?
As many prayers were there. So first I thanked all the gods. Actually, religion is not the bar. First, I thanked all the gods first, and then prepared for. Then I explored how the gene therapy will be, how they do the gene therapy. It's not like we are going in depth, but I have to get an overview because it's my kid. So first we were in cloud9, and then the packing things, everything and all, and how to accommodate everything it comes. But only one thing I put up to the doctor also: after gene therapy I require physiotherapy sessions, because the mother's intuition, my intuition said only one thing: after gene therapy my kid will be okay. So I required only one thing: physiotherapy sessions are required. So everything is going good, and thank God, I think it's around some 2.5 months, but Adi he's standing with support now. It's a miracle. Yes, day before yesterday we witnessed it. So it's the journey. It's the process.
That's wonderful. Can you briefly describe the clinical trial experience from getting there? I know you had visa problems, like you said, but what was the whole experience like for you and your family?
Sure. I think on October 2021, we have received the letter from Texas Children's Hospital after the Zoom meeting. Though we have received the visa letter, the thing is the accommodation issues. I don't know anyone in USA, especially in Texas. And the other thing is financial problems. Like if I could accommodate for 6 months with my savings, with my everything loan, etc., and even we have crowdfunded. But apart from that, in the minimum duration, I couldn't crowdfund and I couldn't make the visa process successful. And it is very, very less. And there is a stereotype in India, actually. I don't know whether it's in India or whether it's all over the world. They said only one thing: you can't get through international clinical trial. This is what even my pediatric neurologist said to me. Even though you post everything, you can't get through it. They won't allow you. This is what the stereotype is. This is the myth is. I want to break it. I want to break the myth. So when we were like first in Mumbai and next in Kolkata, when myself attended the visa process, it's the accommodation issues and it's the financial issues in which I couldn't get the visa, because I requested the doctor time and again that can you please reduce the time, at least in the letter, the duration of stay, at least in the letter, so that I could get the visa. And once after I have reached, I can write in paper that I will stay here for the further duration, because visa is the basic problem here. Please, this is what I have requested them, but they were not allowed to do so, I think. And that's why the previous USA, we couldn't get through in USA. And moreover, yes, I don't know any people in Houston, especially. Even though people were in Dallas, I don't know anyone in Houston also. So that's why I couldn't get through the visa. And that moment is like another hell. Like there are periods in which we might have gone through a severe trauma, a major grade depression in our life. The first is after AADC, when there are no medications, when there is no cure. When that was a myth, I was in a severe trauma and major depression. After that, like I have received the letter, but I couldn't get. I couldn't go. This was the second major trauma. I was like living in a hell, and my mama was taking care of Adi. She said, "Oh, I will take care. You carry on whatever you can. Just get through this process." I tried it. I consulted attorneys, etc., etc. The process was like that, but we couldn't get through. Like I applied for even Madronal, McDonald Trust. Those guys accepted, and they have given me the letter also. But I have got the letter after the visa rejection. That was worse. When I got the letter, I cried literally. And after that, I haven't got any positive response from any of the sites, any of the clinical trial sites. I think Duke, even the Duke person, the person in the Duke knows how many times I literally begged her through the mail. Any of the sites, they haven't, even in Taiwan. They said only one thing, sorry, we have recruited. This is what the reason is. I know, okay, people are there, okay, they could recruit, but my kid couldn't get through. That was a painful experience. But there comes the Israel. Then we have got the letter, and then it was quicker pace. Whatever the mistakes I have done, I just wanted to correct it. I have corrected it, and we could get through this process. Once we have reached Israel, I think on my birthday we have reached Israel. On Jan 19th we have reached Israel, and Adi was Pakka 4 years old. Israel, shall I say a real thing? I'm not that much exploring person or traveling person. I'm literally an introvert person. But after coming to Israel, only one thing was in my mind, and that is Adi. One that break all my that thing break all my things, all my fears. Even though the language is different, but the people are very good. People are completely human. It's not like just because my kid is doing GT, that's why it's not like that. Really, the people are very human here, very kind. They are treating us well. Still they are treating us well. They are treating like not as a guest, as a wonderful guest they are treating. So after 2 months, yes, first 2 months, it's about the antibiotic, whether he is resistant to antibodies. Actually, I'm sorry, antibiotic, it's not antibiotic. Whether he is resistant to that AAVHD virus. Even those 2 months I was like praying, he should be eligible for the GT. So we have got the mail of, okay, so Adi is eligible for GT. After that, the GT was done. It's 7 hours surgery. 7 hours surgery. You know how the 7 hours might be. From the first hour until the 7th hour, even the water which I had was like a hell, which it was like I couldn't even swallow it. It was like that. But 7th hour, when I saw Adi, I was like, Nandini, you have done it. Your kid is okay. Nandini, you have done it. That's what I thought. It's, to be precise, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional, but this is what the truth is. My mama is my backbone. She's my support. All people left after a while. They have left me. It's like, this kid does this thing, you can't do anything. This is what they told me. So it's a mother's struggle. It's my mama's struggle and my struggle. He's there now. He's doing good now.
Yeah, I remember sitting outside waiting for Riley's surgery. It was about 7-8 hours long. I was so anxious, and it was like, wow, time is going by so slow. I was walking up and down, and it was very scary. But it was the happiest moment of my life because I knew there was hope for her. We were so happy. Yeah. So if you were able to meet another family that is at the beginning stages of identifying the disease, what would be the advice you would give to the family?
First thing is, you can get through. Disease is not non-curable and all, like how other people say, like how the doctors say. It can be cured. It's the efforts matter. It can be cured. Just you have to find that where every kid is unique. So you have to find where our kids stand, what suits to our kid, and what can be done for the kids, starting with the medications and starting with the physiotherapy sessions. If the special efforts and care can be given, nothing is impossible in the world.
Yes, I agree. Looking back at your journey, what are the 1 or 2 things you would want the specialist to handle differently?
First thing is they should be aware of the AADC. If the doctors aren't aware, at least we have to say them. They should have the patience that what the parents are they want to say. At least they have to listen it. It's not everyone. I think around some 1 in 5 doctors, they don't listen what the parents say. It's like what they decide. Maybe I don't know. Is there any pressure on them or stress on them? I don't know. But why should they treat? It's not like every kid is going to have a rare disease. Rare disease is very rare, and where rarest of the rare or like diseases like AADC. So when they could listen for such things, it will be very much better to prevent this also.
Yeah, I used to bring in notes and pictures, like a thick binder, to go into the doctor's office and to show them. And sometimes they will just like dismiss us, like, oh, we don't have time. Just quickly. Okay, no, she has epilepsy. Okay, done. And I'm like, no, I don't think she has epilepsy.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree with you that doctors should really spend some time to listen to parents.
True.
For Teachware and other organizations that are interacting with specialists and families, what would be one piece of advice you could share based on your experience?
Guys are doing well, actually. There are some things in which we feel ambiguous. We don't, and we feel where we are standing, like parents like us. So we take you guys as the guidance. The only thing is, please spread the awareness as much as you can, because there are many more families who doesn't know TeachRep. Though I tell them that is a thing, that is a physiotherapy session they are suggesting. Please carry on. So just please, because many are suffering, so they can get the guidance, and many things can be prevented. It's just please spread the word that you guys are there.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Can we have a look at Adi today? Can we look at him stand?
Sure. Actually, standing, he's in the mood to watch cartoons. That's why.
Hello.
Adi, say hi. Hi, Adi.
How often does he go for therapy?
And that's the issue now. They are not giving us many more sessions. It's just once in a week now. It's not in its physiotherapy yet. So I myself, I'm working on it.
Yeah,
I requested them, but that's
you can do lots at home with him. You know, when he's watching TV, you can have him stand and have a table in front of him, and he can stand and watch. That's an exercise too. Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
I think last month I had many questions. We had a session. I think last week we had a session with Mr. Richard. That was good. So all my questions are answered. I am contented and satisfied now. So no questions. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Adi looks like he's doing so well. If you have any questions, you can always message me on Instagram or Line.
Oh, sure.
No, Instagram or Facebook, right? You're on the Facebook group. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And I hope to see more pictures of Adi shared on the AADC group.
Sure, I will.
Yeah. Is it morning time there or nighttime?
It's evening time. It's 4:45
Evening
here.
time. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.